as we will be. God's garden oasis, where every bloom is perfect. God sees us not just as we are, but as we will be.
Impatience. You know, the drumming of your fingers, the tapping of your foot. How do you show impatience when that's what you're feeling? Impatience can be all around us at certain times, especially when we are in a hurry to get something done. And impatience means just not being willing to wait. God has a lot to say about impatience in His Word. So let's look at a little bit of that today. I'm Nancy Hammond, and this is God's Garden Oasis. I'm glad you're here. In James chapter 5, verses 7 through 8, it talks about the farmer having to wait for the crops. And in that same way, we are to be patient waiting for God, for the coming of the Lord. And isn't that true? Those people back in time that Scripture was written knew a lot about waiting for crops. They would be preparing their ground, they would sow the seeds, and they would have to wait and water and cultivate to bring those crops up. In Ephesians chapter 4, verses 2 to 3, it says, "Be patient with one another and maintain unity." You know, it's one thing to be patient with each other, but what can happen is we can start to be divisive and fighting when we want our opinion to be really heard. And we have to be careful about that we stay united. Romans 12, verse 12 says, "Be patient in tribulation." Tribulation is those trying times, those times when things aren't going well. "And pray." You don't just have to sit to be patient. You pray, and don't stop praying. Romans chapter 8, verse 25 says, "We wait for what we do not see with patience." You know, if I were holding a piece of chocolate, and we all know I like chocolate, if that piece of chocolate was right there and I just had to wait 30 seconds before I got it, that's one thing. But to wait for something that I can't even see and I don't know when I'm going to get it for sure, that's a much harder thing. And so to wait for the next gift God has, I have to learn how to be patient for it, and yet to know that it's going to be good. And the Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit. Do you know what the fruit of the Spirit is? It's love, joy, peace, goodness, kindness, patience, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Well, the patience is that peace that I have to wait for. And Lord, I just pray that all of us today will practice patience and practice turning to you in prayer when we feel impatient, rather than letting that seep out like a toxic piece of us. Let us be patient and joy as we wait for your goodness. Have a great day.